Bid award, Courthouse Renovations. Letters from Boyle Construction Management Incorporated dated August 11, 2023, regarding the bids received by a pen bid for the courthouse renovation project opened on July 27, 2023, submitting recommended contract awards as follows. General Construction, one bid, CMG of East Incorporated. $1,489,900. This is the total bid without the alternate. An alternate to be considered, the total amount bid would be $1,604,700.
Motion to approve for discussion.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's important for the public to understand, without alternates, based upon this most recent accounts payable. If you went and accepted all the bids without alternate, we would have left over our capital projects $99,165.57 without any alternate. But it's important because the public tends to have a very short memory to understand how we got where we're at, where we actually don't have enough money to do this project to the level which it needs to be done. All right. The fact is, this project could have been done in 11 months. It's now an 18-month project. Each additional month, the delta between the 11 and the 18, just in consulting fees alone for our consulting companies, about $30,000. So now you're running about $240,000. Well, how could we have prevented an 18-month project versus 11? Well, we had the opportunity in 2022, right? We had made a contract to purchase 410 Center Avenue in Jim Thorpe, which would allow a temporary but complete removal of offices or relocation of court offices to 410 Center Avenue. So we could have accomplished it in one fell swoop versus by floor, by floor, by floor, which extended the project those 7 months. And again, remember, I'm only talking about $240,000 for what Boyle Construction and those working with them. I'm not talking about the general, the mechanical, the electrical, plumbing that also has increased costs when it comes to an expanded project due to the way this has to be phased because of a lack of foresight and vision when on 2 December, the Board of Commissioners retracted itself from a contractual obligation to purchase 410 Center Avenue. A building that could have been purchased, utilized even simply for this particular project, and then resold if we didn't want to go forward with what could have been a consolidation of government offices in Jim Thorpe to further save the taxpayer money associated with decentralized government. Secondly, what's not included in this, because of a desire to unnecessarily relocate the Clerk of Courts office, what is not included in these numbers? $83,595 for a Rotomatic, right? Electronic device for filing. $70,400 for furniture that is actually not needed. This unnecessary relocation of the district attorney's office is actually costing the taxpayer, myself included, and everyone here, I suspect, $518,995 for an unnecessary move of the Clerk of Courts office. Now, I know some people will go back and say, but I recall that commissioners meeting where the DA complained about cramped office. And he stated, the actual courthouse remains cramped and his office can no longer function properly due to the lack of space. I can't continue to operate the district attorney's office sharing desks. Well, before then, and even up until today, an entire wing of the first floor of the courthouse remains vacant. And at least 2 office spaces, the former public defender spaces, remain fully and completely usable. Commissioner Lukasevich asked at that meeting in December, why, if the space is needed, did you never request to utilize the first floor office space? No one was prohibited from utilizing that space. So someone's going to make the argument here, well, the DA needs space and it's critical. It's a safety issue. It's some type of issue. Right? Well, obviously it's not that big of an issue because even to this day, the DA hasn't done one thing to utilize space that was available to alleviate the problem that he alleges. But at the end of the day, our lack of vision and foresight is going to cost the taxpayer. The taxpayer is going to cost probably $1 million plus additional dollars because of the lack of foresight. Even if you consider what it would have cost to temporarily relocate court offices to 410 Center Ave. That's all I have.
Again, not all the facts are being presented. If you recall, when that office was first vacated, when we made that move, I pursued trying to get things done to get an office moved immediately. And unfortunately, that never occurred. You bring up the school time and time again, and you fail to discuss the cost of renovating that building.
$6.3 million.
And the lack of parking for all those spaces, and you did not once go to those people in the surrounding neighborhood and talk about parking issues. You always say about your long-term plans, but however, I'm not gonna bring it up today because when you look at your foresight and long-term planning, there are some serious issues facing us.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's go there. Well, let's talk about your persistent and continual political and personal attack against the Clerk of Courts, which drives you to this unnecessary move of that office, which is costing the taxpayer at least $500,000.
But what the taxpayers are not being told is that the people that are coming in to pay their fines currently have to go upstairs. So it's partially an issue with security and having people roam the building, as well as the district attorney's office having the courts are on the 2nd and 3rd floors. So where do we want to minimize the traffic throughout the courthouse? And you say I put a lot, make it a political issue with the Clerk of Courts. You're the one that constantly brings it up.
Well, because it's a clear observation going back all the way to 2019, and it continues to this day, and we'll continue to see it in this bidding action and activity that's taken place. Keep in mind that courthouse, this building is a public building. There is no right to refuse anyone access. Right? There are, of course, always security issues that have to be considered, but it's a public office and the public should be able to be there. And if it means having to go up on the 2nd floor to pay a bill, that's why we have an elevator. That's why we have stairs. And we know we have a 3-story building. So if it wasn't going up to pay the DA or to do something with the DA, it would be the Clerk of Courts or vice versa. Someone's going to be going upstairs unless you have a 1-story building.
Any further discussion?
Okay, I would like to make an alternate motion if I can.
Okay.
And we might need Tony to help us out with a little bit.
We need a motion on the general construction, either with the alternate or without.
I think my motion was without.
Oh,
If he wants to change that.
no, I'll, because that only involves the step, so I will second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
No.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Okay. The next contract is the mechanical construction. We have two bidders listed. The first one is Michael Mechanical. Their bid without the alternate is $1,669,000. Their alternate bid is $2,065,000. JV Mechanical without the alternate, $1,703,000. With the alternate, $2,020,000.
I will make the motion to, whether to award it to JPM would be the lowest bid, correct, right now?
With the alternate.
With the alternate, yes, with the alternate. Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
No.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Next contract is plumbing. KC Mechanical. Total amount bid $447,000. There are no alternates for this contract.
I'll make the motion, Todd.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
No.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Electrical. J.R. Nato Electrical. Total amount bid without alternates. $1,077,500. With alternates. $1,072,500.
Just look at this a minute.
Right.
Okay,
Since you went with the alternate for the boilers, you need to go with the alternate. So my suggestion to you would be to go with those alternates.
okay, I will make the motion to go with the alternate for the electrical.
second,
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
No.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,